Hello everyone. This is the battle 2 between an Optimate playing as Pergamon versus Madatgascar playing as the Macedonians. In the first battle, an Optimate that's playing as Pergamon, he won his battle, but now he got the role and he got Pergamon. And that's unfortunate for him because Pergamon has inferior pikemen compared to the Macedonians. The Macedonians also have a very fierce cavalry, very strong cavalry. The bodyguard is 200 men strong. I can also see, like, even though in Optimate he got himself some expensive cavalry to try to compensate for that, it does definitely mean that you can see he definitely lack supporting infantry now compared to the what the Macedonians have to offer. The Macedonians have a lot of Furiosi spears and Ifrictaean peltas, which are like early peltas that have long, like almost like a Sarissa, but they don't have the pike phalanx ability. Anyway, so Pergamon he has his Rhodian slingers instead. So he seems to have forgotten that he needs a lot of supporting infantry to the flanks, and what the main cause of that lack of support is these Galatian shock spears. These are very aggressive spears, good spears, very aggressive, but they also cost a lot, and it means he has less units overall. Had he skipped those Galatians shock spears and gotten regular Therosi spears, he could have gotten himself at least 4 Therosi spears perhaps, because it's a lot cheaper. He could have also downgraded himself in the cavalry department to allow himself to have more infantry units in a supporting manner. But this is going to be very tricky for Pergamon to win, because the Macedonians have superior, definitely a lot of more, you know, supporting infantry, so he can really push the flanks a lot better than what the Pergamon can. And it's what Pergamon is trying to do, he's trying to get the cavalry fight separate and then use his shock spears in support to help out with that. But the Pergamon pikemen are inferior to the bronze pikemen, and again, it's very unlikely that you are going to commit your Sarissa pike phalanx immediately. So yeah, it's gonna be like this. Seems to be gambling that, oh yeah, I'm gonna bait in these yeah. So the enemy Thessalonians are here with the Ifractaean. You can definitely see that, wow, it's gonna be brutal. Oh. I'm more showing this battle out of like it's an obvious. You can see here. Here's 4 units. He only has really 1 unit to counter it, maybe 2 that he can send in. He commits over here, yeah, but that's locks down, and it's like 3 cavalry on 3 cavalry, right? But here's 4 units. You only have 2. After this commitment here, he can simply send 1 unit against this Seriosis spear, or attack this Galatian in the rear after the cavalry is committed over here. Then get everything else. These bronze pikemen should have moved up here. Keep moving up here, because this little gap does allow the Pergamese a little bit more room. The Pergamon's cavalry seems to be Okay, here comes the shock spears of the Galatians against these Peltas pikemen. These pikemen or Peltas are now charging in. They don't have bonus versus cavalry, what I know. Maybe hidden, I don't know. So he's sending out one here to keep harassing this shock spear. This will help the Pergamese though, because there's no dedicated melee here. You should turn these Peltas around to deal with the shock spears, because right now they're all demoralized over here. So like maybe it's not hopeless for Pergamon, but what is happening in the rest of the battlefield? The cavalry got itself like the Sarissa is harassing this bodyguard and it's quite even there. Macedonian cavalry has been routed there, so that's good for Pergamon actually. But he's still outnumbered, so he will need to take the cavalry immediately through here or go back to his own lines. Quick pin and then run the cavalry around and deal with this Peltas unit, shatter it, and then go back to the line, because what he's losing is cavalry now. And he lost his general. This is really bad for Pergamon because now his troops are going to be demoralized, and now the Macedonian pikemen are moving up here to reduce the gap. You can see, like, now it's just about taking these two Furiosi spears, go around, wrap around, deal with this. These slingers have not been used at all, so that's very cost ineffective, and yeah, one cavalry returning there, but hey, what the hell. His only real hope is to get a good quick hammer and anvil over here, but even then it's gonna be tough. These Agrianians are gonna be very lethal. So now is the first time he's actually gonna use his Rhodian slingers. This is on the unshielded side. Yeah, it's on the unshielded side, so that's good for him. Got himself a couple of kills here. But unfortunately, the Furiosi spears routes. And now we have to run. And when they're running, they're not shooting. But now that the Furiosi spears comes into the Pergamon's rear, that routes the Pergamese pikes. And that's gonna seal the deal, as yeah, he has nothing. He can't counter the cavalry, and if he loses his pikemen, then he can't counter the pikemen with his other infantry, and he has very little infantry to begin with. It is not a phalanx. So he's desperately trying to get the hammer anvils charges over here, but now you can see that the pikemen have been routed for Pergamon. So ouch. God. Yeah, just shatter these two. There's nothing the Pergamon can do anyway.
Yes, Commander.
Absolutely devastating. The Royal Squadron also have bonus versus infantry, so they are very lethal. He's just going to shatter all the infantry. He doesn't. Oh. Yeah, then he can just run the Therosi against them. Now the army losses should kick in as everything else is routing, but not yet. There we go. Should be it. Yes. So the main lesson here is to have a full complement of supporting infantry here. This was just too few. If he downgraded his cavalry, he could afford more units along with skipping these Galatians, because even though they did very well, he did lack the numbers to really cover himself, and that causes the pikemen to rout. His pikemen were already inferior to the bronze pikemen, so he definitely needed a lot better in support. So that's why he lost here. Good game to Madagascar, very balanced army, lots of support for his phalanx, and powerful cavalry. Thank you for watching this. Bye.